Hello again, the internet. It's me, Amy from New Zealand. I'm back on YouTube. It's been a while. Who cares? I'm making another video about hair. I usually make these intros way too long, so I'm going to cut to the chase. I have a perm that I style in a kind of vintage retro way, and when I was looking at getting the perm and looking at how I could style it, I could not find any videos online. So I thought, I'll make one, and you know, 8 months later, here we are. I just wanted to do some perm myth busting. There was two things that I came across a lot when I was looking at my perm. And one was people wanting to get modern perms, like beach wave perms, things like that. And the other was this idea that once you have a perm, your hair is styled. So this idea that you'd like wake up and your hair is ready to go. And I have had people say that to me. It must be so nice that your hair's just like, oh, just, you know, ready to go when you wake up in the morning. And oh boy, is it not. Is it not ready to go when I wake up in the morning? It's really important you understand what to expect. What a perm does is permanently curl your hair. And what you end up with is kind of the equivalent to what you would have if you were born with curly hair. So while you can, to an extent, control the size of the curls and the direction of the curls, you still have curly hair, and it's not always going to fall exactly the way that you want it every time. It also needs to be treated like curly hair in the sense that you can't brush it. It's got to be well hydrated. You probably have to use some defrizzing serums. What you've got to get your head around is that you are going to have curly hair, not curled, styled hair. It's not going to look like it's had a curling iron through it. It's just going to look like curly hair. Getting a perm is similar to going blonde in that it is permanent, and the only way to really get rid of it if you don't like it, or if it doesn't work, or it is a fail, is to grow it out. You can't undo it once it's been done without risking all of your hair falling out. So the only ways to get rid of a perm are to either grow it out or to just cut all your hair off. The next thing I want to say is that I always recommend, as I would with any professional hairstyle, that you shop around your hairdresser and make sure you get a consultation, make sure you've seen their other work. Most hairdressers are trained in perms, most places train you how to do a perm, but most hairdressers nowadays aren't doing perms that often. Depending on where you live, you may have some hairdressers who are doing modern versions of perm styles, but you might find that there aren't that many people around you that do perms. Where I live, I think there's like 2 hairdressers that do them regularly, and a couple of places where it will say on their website like price on application, which tells me that they don't do it often enough to have a price set. So just like with any hairstyle that you're having done, you need to go in and you need to say, hey, this is what I want my hair to look like. Is that something that my hair will do? Is that something you've done before? How would you go about it? How much is it going to cost? Ideally, you want someone who can show you pictures of their previous work, or who can actually talk you through how they would achieve the shape. So if you want beach waves, do they have rollers that they can use to achieve that look? And will they bring them out and be like, these are the kinds of size of rollers that we'd use, and this is where we put them? And you just want to make sure that they know what they're doing in the specific thing that you want to have done. Finally, what I'm going to do is show you what I have to do to get my hair to look like this. The shape that I was after was what is called the Italian cut. It was quite popular in the 1950s with dark hair. So like Sophia Loren, Elizabeth Taylor. That was the vibe I was going for, and that is the vibe I ended up with, which I'm really happy about. But it's because I was able to sit with my hairdresser and sort of talk a little bit about what I normally do with my hair, how much time I want to spend on styling it in the morning. And what I'm going to show you in the next part of the video is the ways that I style my hair and how I get it to look like this, and how much effort is actually involved, because I think it's really important for you to see the difference between what it looks like wet, what it looks like finished, and what it looks like when it hasn't been done at all, because it can be quite frizzy and wavy and wild if I haven't done anything to it. So enjoy. This is a look. I haven't done anything with my hair. I just wanted to show you what it looks like if I have not only like I've woken up and I've not done anything with it, but also I've like been doing this a lot while I've been sitting reading, which I wouldn't normally do during the day because it does this to my hair, but it just frizzes it up and lovely. This is what my hair looks like just wet with nothing in it. You can see that it is actually curly. It also dries really fast, so I've got to move quickly. So basically I put like this much curling cream in and I just rake it. And then I have a foam, it's like a mousse, but it's a little bit lighter. And I probably put that much in. And if I'm really feeling lazy, I will just like scrunch it. I do find that I can get away with just scrunching it and letting it air dry. It's this sort of, I don't know, elvish, waifish kind of scruffy mop thing, which I don't mind. So that's what I do before I style it. Okay, now that I feel like myself, well, I feel like I look like myself again.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've got a 1¼ inch roller brush. I had to get mine from a salon. This is actually quite a small roller brush size, and I've got my hairdryer on the lowest temperature and speed settings with the pointy attachment. And I'm just curling and lifting the hair, and you can see that I keep rotating the brush as I go. I'm just trying to create lift and trying to tell the curls what direction to go in. This is similar to the technique that you'd see a hairdresser use and they're giving her a blowout. And it's also what I saw my mum do with her hair every day my entire life. So I'm very familiar with the technique, even though I am not trained in it. And I'll let you know that it takes a little bit of work to get your arms used to this. They get a little bit, you get like crampy hands from rotating the brush, especially because it's so small. So this actually only takes about 10 minutes. And it's just about getting volume, telling the curls where to go, getting them in the right direction. What the perm does for this hairstyle is hold the shape and hold the volume, because the perm is all the way to the root. So I get that lift at the root and I get to have the hair stay in the shape all day. My hair is naturally poke straight, super fine and silky, and is just notoriously difficult to style. I have managed to achieve something like this with a roller set, but I think that a roller set every day is a lot more work than just a blow dry with a roller brush. Once I've dried it to about 80%, I go through all the curls and just kind of brush them so that they're completely smooth, and then I let it dry the rest of the way before I do the final touches. And that just gives it a chance to kind of cool down and set in place before I play with it and shape it how I want it to look.
So finishing touches, I just have a tail comb and I am going to separate the curls out a little bit more. I keep seeing these, like I'll see a YouTube video or something about perms and it'll be like, not your grandma's perm. And I'm like, I kind of want my grandma's perm though. Like that's the vibe. Just a little bit of like a putty or a really light wax or something, and just, or a pomade I guess would be good, like the tiniest bit, just to add a little bit more kind of separation and to keep the fringe in place. Oh, someone's coming up the neighbour's driveway.
You can also see here that even though I'm playing with it heaps, it's actually holding those curls in place, which it never used to do, I have to say.
Remember, I'm not a hairdresser or a hairstylist. I am just a Leo who is very proud of her mane, and because of that I have a fair bit of experience dyeing and styling my hair. If you have any questions about hair stuff, ask away in the comments, and I will try to follow up as best I can. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Ka kite anō. If you are a millennial like me, then your mother probably had a perm, and maybe even your father. Let's